What's up, sixth graders? Here we go. 2.5 example 3. Now we're multiplying with both numbers have a decimal. So not too much different. You just have to count the decimal places on both numbers instead of just one. So we got 4.8 times 7.2. If you like to estimate, it's 5 times 7. So our answer should be around 35. Now, you just write it out like this. These happen to be lined up, but it's not a requirement unless you're adding or subtracting. So you multiply like you would normally if it was 48 times 72. But then you look when you're done and you say, oh, there was one decimal place here, one decimal place here. So that's 2 decimal places. So now I go to my final answer and I go 1, 2. And so my answer ends up being 34.56. So I just have to count the decimal places and then count them again, add them up and put them in there. So reasonable, yeah, 34.56 is close to 35. Now let's take a look at this one. 3.1 times 0.05. Estimate, it's around 0. Because anything times 0 is 0, but it's not going to be exactly 0. So we have 3.1 that has 1 decimal place. 0.05 has 2 decimal places. So that's a total of 3. So once you multiply 5 times 1, 5 times 3, 0 times 1, 0, 0, 0, you end up with 155 in there, and you go 1, 2, 3 places over because up here you had 1, 2, 3 places total. And so you just count those up and put them into your answer at the bottom, and you are all done. Not too bad. Let's take a look at another one. If you need to pause the video at any time to catch up, go for it. So here we go. Try these two on your own. 1.3 times 3.5. Just line them up as if it was 13 times 35. Same thing here. 58 times 2. Then once you add your zeros in there, count your decimal places. So this one should have 3 at the end, and this one should have 2. So let's take a look.
Find 5 8/10 times 2 hundredths. First, let's estimate the product. 5 8/10 can be rounded to 6, and 2 hundredths is 4.
This is a different number.
6 times 0 is 0. Remember, to multiply decimals, multiply as you would with whole numbers.
I don't know why they did that.
5 8/10 times 2 hundredths is the same as multiplying 58 by 2. 8 times 2 is 16. Bring down the 6 and carry the 1. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Next, we need to determine the number of decimal places in the...
Oh no, this is just part B.
To do this, add the number of decimal places in the factors. This sum gives you the number of decimal places in the product. There is 1 decimal place in the first factor and 2 decimal places in the second factor. So, there should be 3 decimal places in the product. Start from the right and move 3 decimal places to the left. 1, 2, 3. Place a 0 in front as a placeholder. The product is 116 thousandths. Before we're finished, let's check if our answer is reasonable. 116 thousandths is close to 0.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Okay, so remember, you don't have to line up the decimals like they didn't do here. Just multiply 16, 10, do all that, and then count 1, 2, 3, and start on the right and go 1, 2, 3, and that's it. Okay, so pause the video if you need to, and here are some to do on your own, and you can check my notes to see how I did them. But you're just going to write these out as if there was no decimal. So like 81 times 56, that's how you would do that one. Okay. And then add your decimals in at the end. Two spaces here. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4. So make sure you're counting those. And go ahead and pause your video. 1, 2, 3, pause. Okay, now that you're back, here are the answers. And you can go look on my notes to see how I did them. And sometimes people catch mistakes, so make sure you take a look. All right. Keep up the good work. You guys are doing great. I'll see you at the next one.